One of the United States' top economic officials has denounced China's treatment of foreign firms during a visit to Beijing. Asia correspondent Brent O'Halloran has more.
Her trip is meant to quell rising tensions and to address some of the many issues between the world's two largest economies. But US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's first remarks in Beijing may further raise China's ire.
I've been particularly troubled by punitive actions that have been taken against US firms in recent months.
Secretary Yellen spoke to American business owners before meeting her Chinese counterparts. She explicitly called for change in China.
I also think that a shift toward market reforms would be in China's interests. A market-based approach helps spur rapid growth in China.
Over 3 days, Yellen will speak with the governor of the People's Bank of China, the vice premier and premier. Discussions are expected to cover the tit-for-tat restrictions placed on computer chip production and trade, Beijing's contentious new counter-espionage law, and concerns the US is looking to cut ties.
I've made clear that the United States does not seek a wholesale separation of our economies. We seek to diversify and not to decouple. A decoupling of the world's two largest economies would be destabilizing for the global economy, and it would be virtually impossible to undertake.
Secretary Yellen's trip comes just over a fortnight after US Secretary of State Antony Blinken's Beijing visit, the first for a US Secretary of State in 5 years. He didn't achieve anything substantial. Analysts don't think Yellen will either.
I personally don't think any substantive breakthrough will be announced in the next week or the next 2 weeks. However, given that the Sino-US relationship is in such a historically low point, I suppose any symbolic engagement is way better than non-engagement.
The state-run Global Times has called on the US to follow through with its rhetoric. To many Chinese, US officials, including Yellen, have repeatedly stated they do not seek to decouple from China or contain China. But their actions that range from lingering tariffs on Chinese goods to blatant crackdowns on Chinese firms and strict restrictions of high-tech supplies show the exact opposite. There are a lot of trade issues to resolve, on top of the many national security ones. But Secretary Yellen's presence in China suggests high-level US-China talks may become more frequent. In fact, US climate envoy John Kerry has announced he's heading to Beijing later this month. Brent O'Halloran, Sky News in Taipei.